Okay, welcome back to Ten Island Gaming. This time we have a bit of a special setup. As you can see, the table is completely full. We're doing a 4,000 point battle line where we picked one army each for 2,000 points. And we have here Lizardmen and Lizardmen versus High Elves and Empire. And I can go through my list first. 4 characters. I have a level 4 Slan Mage with Lure of Light. And he also has Becoming Cogitation, Harmonic Convergence and Reservoir of Eldritch Energy. And then a Channeling Staff and a Talisman of Preservation. Besides that, we have here a Scar Veteran with Light Armor, and then Biting Blade, Dawnstone, Dragon Helm and Iron Curse icon. And he rides on a cold one. For core, 24 Saurus Warriors with shield and just hand weapon. And then 3 units of Skink Skirmishers. And then for special, 14 Cold One Riders. And then Temple Guard, 24 of them. And that's it for my part of the Lizardmen army. Oh, and we should also say the spells actually. So level 4, Lure of Light, Fast Protection, Speed of Light, Net of Amintok, and Banishment.
Following the other Lizardmen army contains the General. He's a level 4 of Metal. He has the Reservoir of Eldritch Energy and the Soul of Stone. He also carries the Cube of Darkness, Iron Curse icon and Obsidian Amulet. For heroes I have Gorok as special characters. For core I have 35 Saurus Warriors with full command. I also have 28 Skinks with 3 Croxigors in them. For special I have 2 units of 5 Chameleon Skinks. 26 Temple Guards with full command, and they have the Jaguar standard, so it gives them swift stride. And also 3 Pterodon Riders. And this is the General, and the other Slum Mage is the BSB. For spells I rolled up Enchanted Blades of Abian, Searing Doom, Transmutation of Lead and Final Transmutation.
And this is our side of the table. Yeah, I can start with my Empire army. They are led by the General of the Empire, and he carries White Cloak of Ulrich, Glittering Scales, Ruby Ring of Ruin, and I got a Warrior Priest, and he carrying Dragon Helm, Icon Curse icon, Lucky Stone, Sword of Battle. And the other Warrior Priest is carrying Helm of Skaven Slayer, Opal Amulet, Potion of Foolhardiness and Shrieking Blade. And I got also 1 Engineer there. And for core I got 18 Inner Circle Knights with Steel Standard full command. And for special I have 2 units of 3 Demogryphs just with the musicians. And I got 1 cannon. And for last, Rake's Guards Knight, 10 of them, full command and Banner of Swiftness. And now for the last, Celestial Hurricaneum. So that's my side of the Empire.
And for the High Elves, I got the Mage here. She got the Dispel Scroll and Talisman of Preservation. And then I got 2 Nobles. One is the BSB. He carries Dawnstone, Enchanted Shield and Sword of Might. And the other one, Golden Crown of Altazar. And the other Tricky Charge. And for core, I have 13 Silver Helms, full command. 2 units of Illyrian Reavers, just with the Musician. And for special, 10 Dragon Prince of Kalendor, full command. 1 Chariot, White Line Chariot, and 1 Horse Chariot. For rare, 2 Bolt Throwers and 1 Flamespire Phoenix. And for spells, Ice Sword Blizzard, Comet and Casadora, Harmonic
Conventions.
Conventions, and Curse of the Midnight Wind.
Lizardmen started. End of movement phase, turn 1. We didn't really move a lot. We're waiting for the cavalry to charge. So just moving up the chameleon skinks and the skink skirmishes here to fire at the reavers. On to shooting and winds of magic. End of Lizardmen turn 1. For magic, we managed to get off enchanted blades of Avian on the chameleon skinks. And then also net of Amintok on the silver helms here, so they will be a bit scared to move. The net of Amintok was a miscast, which I then rolled a 6, which is calamitous detonation. 1 wound on the slan and 5 temple guard died from that. Then from shooting, the increased ballistic skill chameleon skinks managed to kill off 3 reavers, and then the normal skinks killed off 1, so there's 1 remaining. On to Empire High Elves, turn 1.
We had some charges. We tried to charge with the demigryphs into his chameleon skinks. He fled, and I didn't pass my leadership, so they couldn't redirect, so they came a little bit forward. We had the Inner Circle Knights here into the skinks, and they succeed, surprisingly. And we also tried to pursue with this Illivian Reaver into the chameleon skink, but it didn't succeed. Then we have some charge movement. We shuffle up our Rakeland Knights here, and the chariot, and our other cavalry just moved up as much as we could. That was our movement. On to magic and shooting. Let's do this. Winds of magic and shooting. We had the net of Amitok on our wizard, and we failed 2 of the spells that we tried to cast, but we managed to get off Comet of Cassandora, and the coin is there. Hopefully we can do some wound. And we tried to cast the inbound spell from the Hurricaneum, but low roll there. I think that was it for the magic. And for shooting, we actually killed Gorok with the cannon, and he misses his lookout, sir. Yes. And we tried to snipe some skinks with the bolt thrower there, but no hits. And we tried to snipe some skinks with the bolt thrower there, but all misses as well. So yeah, that was our turn.
Close combat.
Yeah, on to close combat. The one close combat, not surprisingly, the Inner Circle Knights beats the skinks, and we hold. We don't want to overrun.
Lost 2 knights.
Yeah, I lost 2 knights actually. That was really bad.
Double Lizardmen turn 2 movement phase. Starting off with a charge of the Cold Ones, first into the Reavers, who fled. Redirected into the Silver Helms and succeeded. No more charges. The Skinks moved up. Everything here just shuffled to the left to get away from Cassandora. And then the Chameleon Skinks rallied up here. And the other Chameleon Skinks up on the left flank, and the other Skinks are blocking the oncoming Knights. On to Winds of Magic and shooting.
And turn 2 in the shooting and magic phase. First off, we tried to cast Enchanted Blaze of Abian, but we didn't succeed, so one of the Slum Mages got a lost concentration. And then we tried to cast Net of Amintok on the Mage unit once again, but they used the Dispel Scroll. For shooting, we didn't manage much. On this flank, we didn't kill any Knights, but over here, the Skinks managed to kill 3 of the Illyrian Reavers. And now it's on to close combat.
End of Lizardmen turn 2. The Cold Ones broke the Silver Helms and then caught them when they fled. So they were wiped off the table.
BSB and Mage.
BSB and Mage gone.
No magic.
And now on to High Elves Empire turn 2.
Emperor and High Elves turn 2. Charge with the Flame Phoenix on the Chameleon here. They fled off the table. Charge with the
Rakeland Knights.
into the Saurus, but they failed the charge. The Phoenix redirected into the Chameleon here. Shuffled around a little bit here.
Libyan Riders.
Over there. Charge directly. Over to Winds of Magic and shooting. Magic used the Ruby Ring of Ruin. Fire, yeah. Managed to kill 5 Skinks there. This inbound spell on the Crocs, now on the Cold One Riders, but it was dispelled. For shooting, missed with the bolt thrower, but managed to kill 3 Cold Ones with the cannon. Over to combat. But managed to kill the Chameleon there. Over to Lizardman.
Lizardman movement phase turn 3. The Cold Ones charged the Illyrian Reavers who fled, redirected into the bolt thrower and managed the 17-inch charge. For the rest, we moved up the Pterodons, the Skinks. Everything here is closing the trap, rallied the other Skinks, and we move on to Winds of Magic and shooting. End of Magic phase. The only spell we got in was Net of Amintok again on these Knights, but on a miscast, and the worst possible one, the Dimensional Cascade, which killed
16, I think.
16 of the Temple Guards, but no wound on the Slam. And then for shooting, the Skinks over here managed to kill the Tyrannok Chariot, and then the Pterodons didn't do a wound. So that was the only thing.
The Cassandora did some.
Cassandora also came down and killed
13
of
yeah.
the Skinks here. On to, well, close combat down there, and then High Elves and Empire turn 3.
High Elves Empire turn 3, I think. Woo! The bird there, the small units of Temple Guards, them in the middle, the Inner Circle Knights to the left. This one failed their Net of Anatok test, couldn't move. Over here I managed to do 2 long charge in the rear of the Cold Ones. Moved up this one to get one easier to hit in close combat. Over to some magic and a little shooting. Magic, try to get the ward save on this unit here, but they used his Cube of Darkness. For shooting, managed to do 3 wounds on the Pterodon Riders. They fled, but managed to stay on the board. Over to close combat. This combat here, we didn't manage to break them, because we didn't do so much wounds due to strength 6 and 5 and everything, but it didn't help. Over here the Phoenix charge in, got the 2 in the magic phase, do 1 minus in strength, so it didn't manage to do any wounds. And when one wound. And he fight me back
And kill him.
And for rebirth, we'll call it, I got a 1, so he didn't come back. Here, tie battle. He did 3 wounds on the demogryphs. He killed, is it 7 temple guards. Here, I think we won by 2 maybe, but he was steadfast. Over to Lizardmen turn 4.
Double Lizardman, turn 4, charges to declare. The Saurus warriors came into the flank of the demogryphs. And on this flank of the knight unit, the Croxigors and the Skinks charged in. They moved up the Skinks over here to block the charge. The Pterodon riders moved up just to, in the future, block the charge. And on the right flank, the Skinks moved up to shoot down the Illyrian Reavers. Now it's on to magic and shooting phase.
Lizardmen, turn 4, Winds of Magic. This the General Slam casts Searing Doom on the Knights, which caused them to panic and flee, which then also caused the Lion Chariot to flee here. No other spells were successfully cast, but for shooting, the little Skinks here killed off the Reavers, which caused the... what is that called? Alta?
Celestial Hurricane.
Celestial Hurricane to also flee and then flee off the table. Moving on to close combat. Okay, Lizardmen turn 4, end of close combat phase, and we're actually calling the game now. Here we had a combat with the Saurus warriors into the demogryphs, and they wiped out the demogryphs, overcharged into the knights here. They were standing against the Saurus warriors, and that combat led to the knights fleeing and the Saurus warriors catching them, so they were wiped out. And then over here, the Cold Ones managed to do a lot of wounds onto the Dragon Princess, and only suffered not even a single wound back. Oh. So they actually fled. The demogryph fled, and the Cold Ones caught the demogryphs and wiped them out too. So what's remaining now of the High Elf Empire army is 2 fleeing Dragon Princes who will not be able to rally because they're under 25%. The Bolt Thrower, and then also the fleeing Knights and the Chariot here. So we decided to call it after Lizardmen turn 4. Yeah, that was an interesting game. It's always fun with the...
or not, maybe.
It's always fun with a big game once in a while. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.